I like to start from the beginning.
Okay.
How did you get into the sport of swimming?
How did I get into swimming? Well, I was a terrible skier. I was horrible at soccer. I was a bad hockey player, so all I had was swimming.
Really? Just a process of elimination?
Basically. Well, I always started swimming. I was always swimming on the side while I was trying these other sports. And I don't know. I think that the real difference why I like swimming so much more is that you're in a totally different element. I mean, you're completely apart from everyone else. There's no, like, if you really don't want to listen to your coach, you don't have to. And that's the best part. You can just get underwater. In every other sport, the coach can always reach you right away. But in swimming, there are times that you can just choose to be completely by yourself.
When did you realize that you could be top level Olympic swimmer? Was there a race or a meet or a practice set maybe?
Well, the first time I watched the Olympics in 1992 in Barcelona, I decided I wanted to be there. And in 2000, the first time I went to the Olympics, I thought I could get third, and I got 27th. And then after that, I didn't really think about it. I was just like, I'm just going to try. It's fun to be in the water, and whatever comes out of it is fine with me.
You say you thought you could be third. What mentality changed from the time you thought you could be third in 2000 to the time you were second in 2004? Were you thinking I could be second in this coming into 2004?
No, I didn't. Actually, Lenny even told me. Lenny Kreiselberg was in the race, and he told me that he was definitely going to get first or second in the race. I was like, well, here's Lenny Kreiselberg. He's probably right. I was like, I'll just swim. I don't know what happened. Well, I did go to Stanford in the meantime. That definitely changed my mindset. I probably became a lot more humble after 2000 because I realized that I wasn't the only swimmer going to the Olympics. And the other difference, I think I just started enjoying swimming more for what it was and not defining my personality by it.
Talk a little bit about Stanford. Came in as a freshman, just four-time All-American, NCAA champion. Is that something that's easy to stay modest with after coming in as a freshman?
Yeah, because, where I come from, NCAA champion doesn't mean anything. They're like NCAA, NCAA. They can't differentiate the NCAA from the NCAAP. What's it called? The National Alliance for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. There's no difference. There's no difference in Austria between that and that. So it doesn't mean much.
Talk a little bit about the backstrokers at Stanford. When you were there, I was at University of Washington as a walk-on freshman, and you guys were just unbelievable. Like, you were the first time I realized you got to be underwater for 15 meters off every wall to do well in short course. Training with those guys, pushing each other. I mean, Randall and all the other backstrokers, Peter Marshall. What did that bring? How did that bring you to another level?
I don't know. I think it certainly helped that I knew that they were fast, because then I knew if I would keep up with them, I would keep up with the rest of the world. But other than that, I think it's actually similar to what Bob Bowman said in his coaching. You have to just kind of find someone who's better than you and do whatever he does. But you're never going to find someone who's better at everything that he does than you. So just by I think just naturally you're going to have something that you are a little bit better than he is, and he might have 99% that he's better than you are. So you can both benefit from each other. You just got to find someone like that and train with them.
What do you think you're better than every other backstroker in the world at?
The interview after the race. I don't think I'd do anything better than Pearsall does. Maybe, except in my last race I was a little bit better on the last 50 or the third 50. But I think I swim more for the interview after, because that's the most fun. And then all the other guys, when they're done, and I just get started after the race.
Talk about being among the top backstrokers in the world in an event that the bar just keeps getting raised. 200 backstroke world record just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. How do you come into the race with the mindset of, okay, I have to go fastest time in the world, or else I might not be able to win?
Yeah, well, I think it's about time, because if you think about it, the 200 backstroke world record in 1992, I think, was 156, or maybe it wasn't, but in 1996 it was 156. So for 10 years, really nothing changed. Lenny went a little bit faster than 155, and now we're still going 154. So it hasn't changed that much. If you compare it to the fly, they're 5-6 seconds faster already. So I think it's about time that backstroke gets faster. And the first time I got second at Worlds was in 2001 with a 158. That's a terrible time. That hopefully won't make the final at the Beijing Olympics. But even in the 100 backstroke in Athens, I got second with 54.3, which at the time was only the 8th fastest time of the year, and even just the 5th fastest time of the Olympics. So I think backstrokers are it's about time to go fast.
How much of the Olympics is just racing, though?
Oh, that's the best part. Well, the thing is, I don't think I'm really that good a swimmer. My best races, I've always just made everyone else slower and just happen to have the least slowest time.
That's your secret power?
I don't know. But I think, especially just the race in the 100 back. Lenny was faster in prelims. Pearsall was much faster in the relay. The German guy was much faster in the relay, So I think it's just something I really like. I guess I get affected less by the big moments, because it's just, it is the Olympic final. Maybe 1 billion people are watching, but it's just, we just go up and down.
How do you approach those races? When you're behind the blocks, what are you thinking? How are you staying calm?
I think I just accept that I don't stay calm, and that calms me down for the race, because really it's the simplest thing in the world to just swim up and down, no distractions. It's no contact sport. No one can reach you if you don't want to be reached, and it really is just that. And I think the other part that keeps me motivated that gets me calm in the big moments right now is that life gets a lot harder after you swim just up and down, because you have a lot more things that affect you after you have nothing that affect you.
How about inside the race? When you're maybe shoulder to shoulder with Pearsall or even back at Stanford with one of your teammates, how do you, what's going through your head at that point in the race? Are you trying to focus on something particular about your stroke? Or are you just trying to, get yourself motivated? What's going through your head?
Oh, I don't know.
No?
In the best races, you don't know what happened in the race. It's really just, a good race is really just like good sex, It's just, you don't know how it happened. You don't know what you did different this time, but something just happened, and it was that magic moment where everything just works. And you don't want to think about it too much, because if you try to write a formula for it, you end up like what's that guy, Ron Jeremy, and you don't want to be Ron Jeremy.
So how close the international swimming community, the top swimmers around the world, you obviously trained with some of the Americans while you were here at school, but now you swim with with Austria, you train with Italy. How close is the swimming international community?
I think not nearly as close as other communities, not nearly as close as the soccer community, not nearly as close as the tennis community or the Formula One community, because there's such a quick turnover in swimming that, some people are just good for 1 year, for 2 years. It's very rare that someone goes to the Olympics twice even, so it's especially not as organized as other communities, and that really is something I think we have to improve, especially because, on the other hand, you have people in FINA who take advantage of that very thing, that there's no united voice of swimming. If you just wait it out for 3 years, you can make any decision you want as FINA, because the swimmers who protested it at first aren't there anymore, because they're either too old or too sick of it. So I think we have to do a lot to really organize the swimming community more. I don't know. Trent Staley is doing good work as the USA swimming representative. Then in Australia, they have a professional organization that does it. In Europe, we started to form a little bit of a swimming committee that's working very well with the European Swimming Federation, but FINA doesn't listen to the European Swimming Federation, so it's very difficult.